dropped a good fish. Got another one on. Unreal. This looks good, man. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's flashes all over the place out there. Little bait fish just kicking up everywhere. Try to make it down here. Let's start with, I've got 2 rods. I'm gonna start with a smaller one. My God, there's fish everywhere. We're just trying to get something to eat. I'm throwing a lipless crankbait out there. A white lipless crankbait. Yeah, man, there's splashes kicking up all up and down the channel. And obviously the other side's beautiful too, but I wanted to have a throw right here before we went any further. Because I'm seeing the fish out there, man. If we don't get a bite in the next couple casts, we'll move out there a little bit further. There we go, look at that. A fish. God, these things are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow, look at the way he does that. God, so cool. I'm gonna keep that. I want to have a few more throws just to see what else we can pick up out here. I'm just going to drop him right here just to keep him fresh for a little bit longer. Okay. I got it. God, that's so cool. Man. That is just the coolest thing. I've used these for bait in, I've used these for bait in the past. When you catch a smaller one, like a bootlace, they make an amazing trout bait. But these guys are not going to be bait at all. We're gonna try these out and see how they taste. Because why not? Be adventurous. let's tie a hitch here. Put that right there. Let's get back at it, man. They hit real hard at first, and then they slow down. It's like they put all their muscle into the strike, and then once they're you know, coming towards you, streamlined in the water, they have nothing to offer. It feels like you've dropped a good fish. Got another one on. Unreal. These things are everywhere. But I mean, hey, we're going to be adventurous today. We're going to be adventurous today and try some new things. And who knows, maybe these, you know, what little meat is on here will taste good. Check that out. All right, let's use a paddle because I forgot my shovel. Ooh, washer. Anyway, forgot the shovel, so we're gonna use a boat paddle and we're gonna dig just a little bit of a hole in the ground, not much. These fish are so thin, I barely even need that pan to get hot. I basically just need some hot coals. Here we go. All right, so this is just easy. We're not even gonna pretend this is fancy. There we go. Tear some of the plastic off that. Get some paper. Lighter fluid and matches. This is not a survival program. It's always somebody, always like, this, you would not have any of this in a survival situation. It's like, well, this is not a survival show. Like, not even supposed to be. I want this to light ASAP so I can get this filming done on the schedule I set for it. All right, let's see here. I think I got these. Oh. There we go. Get that open. One time, a cousin of mine had a box of matches, and it said strike anywhere matches, meaning strike, you know, anywhere. And he's like, strike anywhere. He turns the match around, he's like, this is bullshit, this doesn't work. Anyway. All right. Let's go ahead and get our fishes out. All right, interesting little guys. Actually, just gonna cut through the jawline there, pull them off. There we go. I'm not gonna waste time trying to string that stringer through all of them. I'm just gonna cut through the jaw, pull them right off. These are cutlass fish, is what they're called. Atlantic cutlass fish, aptly named. There's no question as to why somebody came up with that idea. They look and are shaped just like a cutlass, a pirate's sword. Really cool, almost dragon-like mouth on him. I cut his mouth to get the rope out, but you can see just amazing, amazing look. So here's our catch today. Gorgeous cutlass fish. Look at these guys. Incredible. What an incredible looking creature. Long and very thin. You see, they're gonna cook through almost immediately. That's why I'm letting the fire die down. And then this guy, don't pay attention to him. We're not going to eat him. I was using this guy for bait earlier. He was just on the same stringer. He sat out in the sunlight too long. If I ate that, I would get very sick. These guys have been in an ice chest within about 5 minutes of being caught. So let's go ahead and cut out what little guts these guys are going to have. God, these guys are so cool. I've never actually kept any of these except for bait. They make wonderful trout bait when they're alive. When they're smaller, if you get some of these guys maybe 10 inches long, you know, just basically looking like a bootlace, You put that as live bait, trout, big gator trout, slam them hard. Caught my PB trout at Rollover Pass once upon a time. Rollover Pass is no more. It's causing too much erosion, and they filled that sucker in. But PB trout, Rollover Pass, years ago, before I was filming on the show, it was a big boy, or big girl rather, and got it on a live cutlass fish. Can't remember the exact measurements on that trout, but it was huge. It was pushing 30 inches. I've never caught a trout even remotely close to that one ever since. Yeah, there we go. My experience with this knife, this is a Kershaw, and I really love this knife. They need sharpening a little bit more often than some other knives, but when you put a fresh blade on, I mean, when they're stoned, man, they are like razors. They don't hold an edge very long, but they hold a hell of an edge when they're sharp. All right, got our cast iron pan. I'm blowing on it to get any grains of sand off there. Let's put it on the coals. You know what would have been smart? An oven mitt. But I have a towel, that'll work just as well. So let's get that nice and hot. While that thing's heating up, let's go wash out for our fish. God, what a beautiful day. I'm telling you, this is Surfside Beach, by the way. Not a big secret. I mean, clearly I was fishing on the Freeport jetties. There's only so many jetties along the coast of Texas, and you can recognize them pretty easily. But Freeport jetties, that's where I'm at. And usually, it just looks like some wavy mud. And you can see the water's got some sand in it up front, but it's very blue, very near. There we go. Splash some of that on there. All right. All right, some kosher salt. There we go. A lot of that's gonna fall off. That's why I'm being a little generous with it. Go get some of that in there. Go. Now, I feel like I need to remind everyone who's a first-time watcher of the channel, I have absolutely no useful experience cooking. I'm just doing this for fun. That's the whole point of the channel, is I'm not trying to pretend I'm a chef. Basically, we're just exploring different types of food and drink for the fun of it and to appreciate the outdoors. Those are the 3 rules of the show. Appreciate the food, appreciate the outdoors, and have a good time. So let's get these guys on the pan. Bit of olive oil. There we go. The pan is tilted, so that's going to slide over to one side. Yes. Check this out. If we just stroke the skin as it's cooking, the skin comes right off. Now, I don't know if I actually want to do that. I probably want to leave the skin on so when I flip it, the meat doesn't disintegrate in the pan. But good to know. Just interesting that, yeah, see that? Look at that. They smell all right. These things have only been in here for a few seconds, but already I think it's time to, yeah, give the other side treatment. Alright, delicious fish ready to go. Listen, they're still sizzling. Still sizzling because the pan is so hot, but man, these things are they're ready to eat. Let's tuck into that. Oh, his jaw came off. Let's tuck into this. Alright, let's get a little bit of this fish. Look at that. That cooked so fast. And honestly, you know what? I'm not necessarily going to, but you could just crunch the backbone on these things. So tiny. Do not take what I'm saying as any kind of advice. I am not saying go eat the bones of cutlass fish. I have no idea what it would do, but I don't think it would hurt. You can fact check me on that, but as long as you're not choking on anything. You would be amazed, by the way, how many times people have tried to call me out as being responsible for their safety because they want to go do what I do. So on the other channel, I went and I fished in a bayou, and somebody got mad at me because they're like, it's your responsibility to test the water and tell us what the chemical levels are. It's like, no, it's not. All right, let's eat some of this. I almost called it delicious fish, but we don't know that yet. Backbone. It's not bad. You know what? Spit that out. I have, actually, you know what? I brought this for a different video, but let me show you something I have in here. I forgot I had these. I was gonna film something with this a little later today. I have a lemon. So let's get a little lemon wedge out of here. Put a little bit of lemon juice on here. We're working with the bare minimum. There's our lemon wedge there. There, just squeeze the juices out of that. That right there alone is gonna elevate the taste. Just a little bit of that lemon juice in there. There we go. Oh, the backbone came right out of that. Quite nice. Wow. It's very hot. That's why I'm making that face, but it is very good. That lemon on that fish is just spectacular. A little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of lemon. When something comes out of the ocean fresh, you know, this is not even necessarily, especially here at least, a desired species for food. This is not a red drum. You know, it's not black and redfish. It's not a speckled trout. It's not mahi. You know, all the things you go pay top dollar for in a seafood restaurant here in Texas. But just these little basic ingredients, and it's fresh. That is probably the most important factor. It tastes really good. Let's cut another wedge out of this lemon here. I didn't get a whole lot of the juices out on that one because the rind is really thick, which is going to be good for what I'm doing later. That right there. Oh, that smells so fresh. Squeeze all that lemon juice. You guys can see. All that juice pouring down. Oh, so good. So good. Just kind of rub the lemon into the pan here. And just kind of follow it with the fish. Just pick up every last drop of that lemon. And look at that fish just falls apart. Not because I cooked it especially, you know, well, but because it's just such a tender animal to begin with, such a tender fish. That's good. I've had sand trout out here on the show already. Croaker, I think. And what were the other ones we caught? Sand trout, croaker, whiting, obviously. Stuff like that, you know. And none of it was that good. And I even put some nicer stuff on some of that. I think I put some of that with some wine. This, I will not lie, is much better. And I think it just has a lot to do with the fact that it's primarily, you know, a predator. It's not going to be scavenging stuff off the bottom. It's going to be eating fish actively mid-water, top water, which is how we caught him. I'm just going to crunch these bones. There, look, you can see his backbone coming through the meat there. That is really cool. It's like the spare ribs of fish. Yeah, normally when I do these videos, if I catch fish, like I said, that aren't really considered delicious game fish, I kind of eat a few pieces for the camera, and then I'm like, oh my god, I only get some real food. This is actually really good. I'm enjoying this. Breaks that meat right off of there. There we go. I kind of use my fingers. I've seen sushi chefs, a lot of the times they'll dig the meat from a fish off the ribs. Specifically tuna is what I've seen him do it with, using a spoon. Just gonna kind of duplicate the same idea here, using just my fingers. Just kind of run my fingers down into the pockets of the ribs. Kind of get some of that meat out. Not a whole lot of meat. I wouldn't recommend you go out and try to do a family catch and cook on a cutlass fish, but yeah, not bad if you're hungry. That's really good. What can I say? It's a fresh fish. It's a predator. Beautiful water today. Caught it, cooked it within 30 minutes, kept it on ice in between. Good stuff. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. I can't film too long at any given time over here because everybody's playing music that's going to have a copyright claim on YouTube kick up real fast. So I'm hoping the audio from someone's radio doesn't get caught on this camera. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, hit that bell. That way when I upload, you get the notifications straight away. If you're not already subscribed to my other channel, it's called Wildlife. You can find the link to that on the main page of this channel. That's our main channel. That's the fishing channel. Lots of our fishing, mostly catch and release on that channel. Real good stuff. Big alligator gar, big catfish. Sharks are on that channel. Everything we catch and put back, it's over there. So check that out for sure. More is coming, guys. Stay tuned, and until it's here, I will see you guys later.